All right. What is up, everybody? Thanks to all you guys that are here hanging out in the chat already. We were going to go ahead and get it started tonight. This is Monday Halls Live, the episode 60 order 66 episode. So it's not quite episode number 66, but we decided to go ahead and do it for this special Halloween episode. So we got a lot of cool stuff that picked up. I picked up over the weekend at my LCS's local comic shop, or their 50% off sale, or their big Halloween sale, I should call it. Not everything was 50% off, but a lot of comic books were. So, first off, I just want to give a big shout out to Paul and say thanks to Paul for sleeping in so I could grab all these amazing deals. Man, what an exciting weekend it was. So happy Halloween to all of you that are hanging out here in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a quick, let's see, let's go ahead and do some shout outs. But before that, let me take this. Here we are. Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Halloween to all of you. Glad to see you. So I took the real quick note. I took the kids out, or the girls out, for some trick or treating, and I did wear my costume. Then it got quite hot and sweaty and stuffy, so I'm just going to show it to you. Check that out. I went as Mr. Incredible again, so I was pretty excited that still fit me. And to take them out. So hey, that was great. But as always, excited to get back here and hang out with everybody here and just check in on everybody and see how your Halloween's going. I'm going to do some shout outs real quick in the chat, and then we're going to get started. MT is here with me, hanging out backstage. He's getting some stuff put together. Wait until you see his costume. He actually looks kind of ripped in his. But let's see who we got in the chat here. L Green, what's up? Yes, happy Halloween to everybody here. Thank you, sir. Thank you for hanging out. Andrew Kai, good to see you as well. For Pete Sake, good to see you. Michael's Comics 54. Man, I'm so sorry to hear that you got COVID. I hope you're recovering and that you're on the mend. Yeah, I see here you said on the bright side you did get off work for a week, so that's good. But hey, recover. Make sure you check your blood oxygen level, plenty of vitamin C, plenty of vitamin D, and get some bed rest. Maybe even a little bit of sun therapy. Get out and get some sun. Carl's DLR, good to see you. There's some well wishes from everyone else. There's Amazing Spider Flint. Hey, if you missed out, if you missed last week's episode, he did a massive CGC slab unboxing. Lots of cool books, so make sure you go back and check that out. On the rewind. Let's see who else we got here. Teresa Newell, what's up? Good to see you. Mr. Collector is here, hanging out in the chat. Mr. Collector just got something massive in the mail. He needs to show it off and let us all see it. Maybe I'll see if he can get on sometime soon and show it off, because it's really impressive. I think, and MT, I think you'd like it as well. Let's see, El Green Machine again. And Comic Tracks, what's up? Good to see you as well, sir. Hey, let's go ahead and bring on MT. Bring him out from backstage, because he's ready to show off his costume and flex for everybody. All right, here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. MT.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Good to see everybody. Happy Halloween. Hope you had a safe and productive Halloween, where you could steal as much of your kids' candy as possible. We had the neighborhood shut down. They had fire trucks running around, and I could hear the FPA from the high school down the street. It was quite the to-do. So it was nice here tonight. Nice, fairly warm. Hey, Green Machine. Warm night. It did little misting rain, but not bad. So
It's not bad.
everybody tonight, and hopefully I've got some cool stuff to show you all tonight. No big shipping disasters. I do have a couple images from last week. Maybe I'll try and load them up and share with you, because there is a pet peeve that I want to kind of discuss. So looking forward to a great show. And I'll send it back over to Mr. Carlos.
Awesome.
Oh, and we may just crack another slab tonight.
Here we go. Hey, what's up, Spider Girl? Good to see you. And hey, happy Halloween to everybody. I hope that you got to hang out and do some of what you love tonight, even if it was just cozying up to read a good comic book. So here's the deal. My one of my LCSs had, and actually two of them, but I didn't even know about the other one having their 50% off sale or their big Halloween sale as well. They're the second biggest comic shop here in town. They've got 3 locations. My main, or one of my 2 main LCSs that I go to, Bedrock has 6 locations across the greater Houston area. And over the weekend, they had a massive sale. It was a lot of chaos. It was especially chaotic because I took the 2 girls first to pick out some early Christmas presents. And then I took my son later to pick out a couple of graphic novels for him as well. So it was a lot of in and out, a lot of running around, and gave my wife some time to just hang out here at the house and relax because she deserves it. But it was good. It was a good weekend, lots of cool stuff. So I'm going to go and so I kind of have everything batched out into, because I made 3 different stops worth of books over about 4 different stores, I think. Or yeah, I went twice to at least one store. Because just, trying to dig through back issue bins with the kids, it just wasn't going amazing yet, or any. So I found. So I guess this year they did Trick or Read. So here's a couple of quick shout outs for 2 cool books that I found. So they did a Trick or Read edition of Strange Academy #1, and it's got this Art Adams Dormammu, the son of Dormammu, cover. And then they did a Trick or Read Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur #1 reprint, which I had not picked up. I'm going to go ahead and read this in advance of the series coming out, because there is an animated series I think in the works. So on that round. Okay, so on that round, I picked up, and I've been gravitating more and more towards Bronze and Copper Age DC comic books. One in particular title that I've been very kind of drawn to has been DC Comics Presents. Now that's one of the issues for that is the first appearance of the New Teen Titans, but there's also other first appearances throughout that run. And one of them that I picked up was DC Comics Presents #41. This is a nostalgia pick. A lot of these books from this run were nostalgia picks. So this is DC Comics Presents #41. This is Superman and the Joker. And this was just something I remember very well from my childhood. It also has a preview of the new Wonder Woman in this one. And so this is a Ross Andrew cover. It's definitely lower. It's marked as a 6.0, but it's got some spine stuff going on. I picked it up mainly because of the nostalgia. I remember this specific issue from childhood, so I wanted to
explain to me what the new Wonder Woman is.
I think this is from the so this is when Roy Thomas, Gene Colan, and Romeo Tanghal were doing the main Wonder Woman title. And so I'm going to pop it in. Now, I think it still has it in here. Some of these DC Comics Presents books would have the special previews removed. And so let's go ahead and pop into. I love this story with the Superman and the Joker. Let's see, let me get to the middle of it. Here we go. Yeah, this is when Roy Thomas took over the title. I don't remember this one in particular, but here, I'll show this off. Remember, this is a lower grade, guys, so that's why I'm holding it like this. All right, a bold new direction for Wonder Woman.
She got a new costume, or why is it a new Wonder Woman? I guess
It's new because a new creative team took it over.
Okay.
So this is I don't see a year in this particular one. Let me see. This is 82. I wonder, was this before or after the George Perez run?
No idea.
I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that. But this a little bit beat up. What's up, Louis V? Good to see you. All right. Okay, so in much higher grade, DC Comics presents number 44. This is a team up between Superman and Dial H for Hero. However, this is not the Robbie Reed version. This was the next version. It was a boy and a girl that each had a dial, and so this was this version of it. This was the one in the 80s. The Robbie Reed one was from the 60s, and they started to, Robbie Reed, they took him through a whole lot, but he ended up newsflash, becoming a villain. But I mean, there's nothing spoilery about that.
Spoilers.
DC Comics presents number 66. So I picked this one up because this is by Len Wein and Joe Kubert, and this is first appearance of Blackbriar Thorn, or the resurgence of Blackbriar Thorn, and it features the Demon, who you think is the George Perez run was after the Roy Thomas run. So this is the Demon, who I just find to be a really cool superhero. Or a really cool character, and I like to see him teaming up. Like I think I covered it a couple weeks ago. One of my favorite Detective Comics runs was when Batman and the Demon team up to go up against the 6-armed Goro-like demon. Okay, so I got some Justice League. This is Giant Justice League number 146. This is a pretty good condition book. Justice League of America number 193. Just a beautiful, beautiful book right there, and you can see all of them teaming up. I think this is the other half of the story of that other. I showed off a Red Tornado Justice League of America. I think this might be the other half of it. Also, there's an All-Star Squadron preview pullout, and I'll show some of those books later because I have been picking those up. They're super, super cheap right now, except for the one key or one of the keys in the bunch, but the rest are very, very inexpensive. Okay, yeah, and here's another one. This is Justice League of America number 208. It guest stars the Justice Society and the All-Star Squadron. However, also in this book is an extra free 16-page comic preview of Masters of the Universe. So I thought this was a nice, very high-grade copy. So I picked this out, and I love how they did that with preview editions and stuff. So I may pop open a couple of those in a future round. So also, Submariner number 53 in super low grade. It's got a huge tape pull on the cover, but for $2, how can you pass it up? Right. Here's a Silver Age Justice League that I picked up. This is Crisis on Earth A, because this is the Justice Society of Earth 2 against the Lawless League of Earth A. And this was Justice League of America number 38, very low grade again, but it's got Dr. Fate punching out the Earth A Superman, who looks like he's seen better days. Oh yeah, he's blonde. He's blonde. Look, check it out. Look at that. It's the most un-Superman looking Superman I've ever seen. All right, last two that I picked up. El Green. Here's one. I thought of you when I picked this up because I've been assembling my Emerald Twilight run of those 4 or 5 issues. So I finally found a high-grade copy of Green Lantern number 49, the infamous gleeful, evil Hal Jordan celebrating all the rings. This is a death issue. Lots going on in this. Really, a lot going on in this entire run. But I featured this in my Green Lantern video that I just did, so I thought you guys would get a kick out of this. That I finally found, because this is the one cover I hadn't picked up yet, and I was looking for it, and I could never find it, but they actually had it. And again, high grade, $2. How can you go wrong? Last book for this round that I'm going to show off from this run of pickups was again $2. How can you beat it? So this is the Modern Comics reprint of Blue Beetle #1. So Charlton, right, did the original run, but then the Modern Comics did a reprint, and that's what this is. And you can tell by looking at the logo in the top here where it says Modern Comics. When it was Charlton, you would see the Charlton logo and then Charlton Comics. So that just was another, and it's also got the Question as a backup character because he was also a Charlton character. But yeah, this is a neat little something. And again, $2, you can't beat it. It's just not, it's just one of those ones that you go ahead and pick up. Especially when I'm continuing to build out my Blue Beetle collection. It's not front and center like G.I. Joe, but it is a run that or just a piece of the collection that I'm working on. So that's my first round that I had to show. I have 2 more nice stacks to show, but make sure to drop in the chat. Tell me what you thought of some of those pickups. I'm going to go ahead and send it back over to MT. MT, you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
I just so happen to have this in my hand, so I'll show you. This is one of my favorite pieces of graphic art I ever picked up at a convention, and I think I'm going to get this one framed. This
wow.
Dr. Doom, very Soviet-era block, obedience through submission with the Cyrillic type text on it. So one of my favorite pieces. Usually I get like pinup art, but that was I just couldn't pass that one up. So I finally ordered Golden Age boards and bags because I had so many Golden Age books that are like in comic or magazine size, and now I can't figure out what I did with the bags. I'm going through digging. I picked up a bunch of these old Golden Key books here about 2 weeks ago. Like this is issue number 4, the Jetsons. I got a bunch of really early Jetsons. Some other UFO books because I collect UFO covers, spacecraft stuff. And in fact, maybe I'll pull that out for next round. I happen to get dirt cheap one of the biggest Dell comics there is. And I'll dig it out because it's very cool to get to show you that. I don't think I showed this one last time. All these crazy aliens, Space Family Robinson.
Oh, wow.
Is a collection, is a comic that I collect because I got this from my dad. So this came out of my dad's collection, which was a cardboard box full of stuff, missing covers and beaten, well read. But this was one of the cooler books in there. I love the old 50s throwback with the fish tank glass helmets, so this is Space Family Robinson #0, and then before they started the title, it is certainly well read and beat up, but it's one of my all-time favorite comics. It's one of the ones I got from my dad, so that's another reason I picked these up. But I just love the artwork on these. The painted covers I think are fantastic, and how they used to think about space travel and aliens and everything back in the day is pretty interesting to me. Let's do a cold open first. Let's do a cold. Let's do one of those. I got a couple packages today, and I've got some other packages that I got yesterday that I never got around to opening. I did kind of pre-open some of these so we can speed things along. Let's see what this one is. we won't cheat and look at the packing slip. But very well, very good packaging job here. We've got blue tape wrapped very nicely in
Nice.
cardboard backing, although we do have tape on the bag.
Uh-oh.
And we got packing tape on the bag. But, you know, hey, we're making progress here. Making progress here.
MT, you are the evangelist of good shipping.
Right. There's nothing, no bigger bane to my existence than packing tape on a comic book bag.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like the super sticky type.
Yeah.
This looks like we've got two books taped together. This almost looks like maybe something I pre-ordered. Oh, yeah, might be a little early to show these. I'll show them at a distance. How's that? New Red Sonja covers. That might be a quick flash for that. Maybe I should open these up. I guess it's still PG. Okay, this one, ironically enough, I just had another copy of this in my hand. Did I take it down? Yeah, I guess I did. I got into a discussion with another member of the community here about Morgan Le Fay. Arthurian Tales, King Arthur.
Yeah.
Right. She had an ongoing love affair with Doctor Doom. And
Really?
oh yes. And she taught Doctor Doom most of his magic.
Really?
Because a lot of people think Doctor Doom is tech-based because of his armor that he wears, but really the majority of his power is magical-based. And he uses his time platform to travel back to talk to Morgan Le Fay.
Okay.
Her like big story arc leading up to her first cover appearance is in the Avengers title. Her first full appearance is in maybe I do have it here. Let me see. I thought I set it aside so we could talk about it. Yeah, it's right here. Her first full appearance is in Spider-Woman number 5. This is an homage to Avengers 10, where Spider-Man's in the Avengers.
Yeah.
But at any rate, it picks back up in Avengers here, and not a very good cover art, but that's her first full cover art appearance.
Wow.
So not necessarily the greatest art, not the worst either, but she's a very interesting character, very powerful character. And when Asgard got in the J. Markle Straczynski run of Thor after Ragnarok happened during the Disassembled, when Joe Cicada took over as editor-in-chief, they did a reboot of Marvel Comics, if you recall.
Yeah.
They had Asgard die in Ragnarok, killed them off, and then they were brought back as people on planet Earth, and Thor had to go around and wake people up, right? Well, during that time, Thor got kicked out of being the king of Asgard, and they moved Asgard to Latveria at the Doom Castle. And there was this big story arc with him and Morgan Le Fay and their love affair that got like shoehorned in that series. Really good read if anybody's interested. But this is a story arc I got dirt cheap online of her leading up to her first cover appearance. Obviously, she's got ties to Jessica Drew for some reason. I never knew that. That was part of the reason I can't remember even reading these. So I'm going to have to give those a read. Here's another book I picked up recently. I'm a big fan of Captain Savage and his Leatherneck Raiders, which was kind of spinning off of Sergeant Fury, right? Because that was another one I got from my dad that was like one of the few that was in good shape. So I've been talking with Marshall Warpath a lot about this, but my favorite character was always Jay Little Bear, and he makes his reappearance in Combat Kelly and the Deadly Dozen. He is a pro wrestling Apache, and he puts the smack down, like throwing guys around by their hair and whatnot. Just a great character. So I wanted to get all his key appearances, and this was
very cool
edition copy of Combat Kelly and the Deadly Dozen. Obviously, a spin-off of the movie, The Dirty Dozen.
Very cool.
Love the movie. Awesome, look good frame. Yeah, no pull tabs, Elgree. No pull tabs. This one's sitting here. This was a backstock basement find.
Nice.
Avengers Academy was on the trending list. I'm like, I know I have that book somewhere. So I was able to dig this out. I don't know. There's like 15 first appearances in this. It's a book you can pick up cheap right now. I suggest doing so because of how many first appearances are in this book.
Yeah. Same as Strange Academy. They're just loaded.
Right. And this is much cheaper than Strange Academy. So this is kind of like the villain side, more of the villain side, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
At any rate, it's a good one to pick up. All right, let's see what else we got here. Hold on. One of these days, I'm going to take a picture of the mountain of Gemini mailers that I have from stuff that I've ordered. It is insane. I'll never have to buy a Gemini mailer as long as I live. Never, ever, ever. Okay, so this one is from my buddy J1A Bob, which I thought I told him to hold these, but he sent them anyways, but that's okay. All right, so this has to do with why I buy this and why I buy every copy that I see that's in decent shape is Kang the Conqueror, okay? There's been some talk that maybe something from the Micronauts is going to be in Quantum Mania. I don't put that at a high percentage because of Micronauts was created to sell action figures, and they don't have all the rights to that. But they may have rights, not worry about the rights to some B-list character out of Micronauts. But the main tier Micronauts characters, except for Bug is the one that one exception to that. I think the rights are still held by the toy company. But at any rate, why I say that to say this. We're talking about the quantum universe, right? So now we're talking about things shrinking down and growing, right? Well, Kang, not a lot of people know this, but Kang's sidekick is a guy called the Growing Man. And the Growing Man very much has Ant-Man powers of growing and shrinking. So I think there's a high likelihood they would use Growing Man in place of some other character because he's like obscure. They like picking up obscure characters. But if nothing else, he's in a ton of Kang books. He's Kang's henchman. Never bad to get the first appearance of Growing Man, which is in 440. And what came with this, and I don't even remember buying this, but it's a pretty cool looking book.
Oh, wow.
Venom #1, signed and numbered 568 of 3000.
Nice.
And it says, what was it? Two different signatures. It says Kenny something John Beatty. Let me see what it says on the back. Kelly Jones and John Beatty, the artist of Venom the Madness #1. I mean, that's a great signature placement, though.
It is. That's
I think if I'd have asked for it myself, I'd have had them put the numbering up here in the white. I think the signature down there it looks good, but they should have offset the numbering by putting the numbering up here. That's what I would have preferred. But still, it does kind of pop. Good Juggernaut cover. Hard to go wrong with a good Juggy cover, right?
That's a pretty cool book to have.
Because there was like a lot of mini series runs of Venom in this era.
Right.
Lethal Protector. There was, Deadly Origins, stuff like that. Well, here in my next box, there's some stuff sitting on top. I got a bunch of these Archie horror books.
You know what?
We're in a multi-pack that I bought, or it might come in a collection. I think it was in like a 20 comic pack I bought at some closeout store.
Yeah. So that, funny enough, that Jughead, the Hunger, no, the other, Riverdale.
Yeah,
That
this
Jughead the Hunger, one of the girl, no, the other one on the other side. Yeah, yeah, that one. One of the girls picked it up in a back issue bin and said, because it was in the kids section, and said, "Oh, can I get it?" I was like, "Nope."
is it because it says teen, I think.
Yeah, I don't think.
Rated teen plus for violence and mature content.
Right. Yeah.
And that's the free. The Halloween comic set says rated teen plus for violence and mature content. Anyways, if you like CW's Riverdale, let me know.
I'll make sure and let Paul know because I know he'll get he loves that show.
Oh, does he really?
No, he doesn't really.
Oh.
But you can definitely tell him, hey, I heard that you love Riverdale on the CW.
I got a bunch of covers of cosplay. Most of them end up being Red Sonja because these ones I get my hands on. So there was a Red Sonja cosplay that was with the other one. This one I got from Michael. And it was a really cool pickup. Apocalypse versus Dracula.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And it made me think of, because this is the Bram Stoker cover.
Yeah.
The Stray Dogs had a book that looked like this.
Yep. Now, those are signed though, right?
Yeah, both are signed.
Wow.
I forgot I was going to put those up last night and completely forgot all about having them.
Yeah.
So maybe another day. Now I've unearthed this other box. Let's see what we got in this one. Oh, because I picked up 3 slabs this week, which I will show off as well. I like these slab boxes.
I haven't seen those yet.
They're nice for shipping slabs in them, or shipping some of the bigger books that I have fit in these. You can roll the tabs out sizes, but they fold in like this. It's a secure box. I'm a fan of whoever designed this. I like the engineering behind it. Oh yes. This was a Michael Presses pick. So this is the preview. In fact, you know what? Do I still have those books laying right here? I must have moved them. I got all the number ones from X-Men Adventures season 1, 2, and 3, and this has the preview for X-Men Adventures in it in Marvel Age. So it's like the first comic book appearance of X-Men Adventures from the cartoon. And I believe there's some artwork on this back cover. Yep, there they are, right? And so with the Pop Culture PowerCon having some of the voice actors for X-Men Adventures, it's good to have some of those early key appearances of X-Men Adventures. So I picked that one up. Thank you, Michael, for giving me a heads up on that one. This book, I always like to pick up. I think it's way undervalued. This is the first appearance of, we know Carlos? Oh, he bailed on me. You're by myself.
No, hey, I'm still here. I just had to. My son came upstairs. If you got home, so give me just a second. I'll be back.
Fine. This is the first appearance of Silver Sable, but this is the second print. It's very undervalued. If you don't want to pony up and buy the first printing, second printing is really not that expensive, and it's a pretty sharp cover with that silver background. I think it really pops with the Black Spider-Man. I think it's a great book to pick up if you get a chance. Here's a book I've been buying multiple copies of because Bill Murray, famous actor, so I picked up another 2 copies of that this week. This has the first appearance of Krylon or K something, I don't know. It's who's Bill Murray's going to be. The first appearance of that character is in this comic book. It's actually a pretty nice looking cover too. Hulk on Hulk crime. So And I picked up another one of these. I gave one of these away for free. I love this issue. It's an homage to obviously the first appearance of Punisher at ASM. This is from the Dark Reign and the Sentry from when Norman Osborn took over S.H.I.E.L.D. From Tony Stark. What I thought I would do here is kind of share some of my Eerie collection, because I talked about I was going to do that. Eerie is a Warren magazine that came out like in the 70s. A lot of Frank Frazetta artwork on it. It was a very seminal comic book magazine, right? Some of the best cover art ever came out of that stuff. So I got a stack of those here, and then we'll get through those, and I'll show you my slabs, and maybe we'll crack a slab at the end, right? So please let me know what you guys are collecting. If there's a new title out there you guys are reading, you think I should pick up. I'm looking for something that they're printing that's worth buying and reading. Having a hard time with that because there's not too many comic books that the writing and artwork is very good on. So let me know. I'm looking for something. This is one that was still in the poly bag. This is Action Force, which is a spin-off of the G.I. Joe, right? This is number 2 presented free with this issue. So I think this is number 1 and number 2 of Action Force from G.I. Joe, the International Heroes. Because I believe that's Scarlet, right? Somebody can let me know. Maybe it's Lady J. I thought Scarlet, Lady J had the yellow. So our resident G.I. Joe guy here. Now these are some of the awesome covers, right? So I'm going to try and get through these pretty quick. You guys let me know which ones you like in particular. So this is Eerie number 33. Now these all came, I was at the end of a convention. A guy had 2 long boxes full of old magazines and comics in 4 colors. And I bought them both for $75. It was a screaming deal. It was many years ago at the last hour of the convention because he didn't want to carry them back out to his car. I just happened to get lucky. So a lot of those came out of this. So they're not in the greatest shape. Some of them I picked up along the way though, to add to this to try and fill this run out. So that's 133. This is kind of a cool cover. A Forgotten World, a Haggard that searches for treasures. I love this cover. This is one I bought differently. I thought that because this is right around the time they were designing He-Man and Skeletor. I really think that this piece of art influenced Skeletor with the Havoc staff and the goat head, and so I really, and the blue colored skin. I really think that this very much influenced the design of Skeletor from Masters of the Universe. Awesome robot cover. This one is cool. I forgot I even had this one. This would have been one I picked up afterwards because it's in better shape. But this is a Werewolf versus Dracula cover in this spine-tingling adventure. Isn't that a sweet book? I'm going to have to dig into that, see who the artist was on that. Here's a Frazetta-looking cover. Evil King Thal's Web of Terror. Cool-looking witch there. Got some skeleton warriors there. There's a sweet... That's got to be a... Boris Vallejo. This is a Boris Vallejo cover. You can tell right away, right? It's like fine art you see in a museum type of stuff. Sweet, sweet Boris Vallejo cover. This looks like another Boris cover. This is very much from the British invasion style of heavy metal and stuff like that. This type of artwork always makes me think of the British invasion artists in the comic book world in the 70s and early 80s. Another sweet robot cover. back into a little bit of horror here. Vivian battles Cajun and Merlin for all of Earth. Look at that. That looks like might be a Boris cover. Maybe that or a Colom cover. I've always loved this cover. I don't know what it is about this succubus woman here. Let's see who she is. I believe this is another Boris Vallejo. Yep, Boris Vallejo. Chess pieces come to life in a battle against Drax the Warrior, page 66. Isn't that a sweet piece of artwork? Book's a little bit in rough shape, but still, Boris Vallejo art is not to be missed.
Cool.
And then Yuri the Giant Celebration, issue number 100 with the homage on there. Trying to remember if Boris did this one too, but this is a big book. It's in rough shape, but still cool book to have. Erie's one of the ones I have a lot of. Erie and what's the other one? Weird? No, let me think about that. Creepy. Creepy's the other one. Creepy and Eerie, and unfortunately, I sold off a lot of my creepies, and I wish I would have kept more because I gave them to my local LCS on commission. I probably got nothing for him because all I do is I give him stuff and then it goes on. I've got a tab there, and like I'm just gonna spend it there one day. This was another one I picked up here not too long ago from somewhere. But I was like dangerous because now that I have one, I love the cover so much I may have to go out and start buying a whole run. Even though this is kind of in rough shape. This almost looks like another Boris cover too. Okay, so these are the slabs I picked up this week. Let's save that one for last. I heard some rumors about that this What If storyline was going to be used in the Craven movie.
Really?
Yes. And it's relatively inexpensive to pick this book up right now. I picked up half dozen copies or more and picked up a slab at a decent price. I don't know if it'll pan out or not, but at the low buy-in price, I think it's a decent spec to go ahead.
Yeah.
Plus it's a great story. It's an awesome cover. It's hard to go wrong with What If books. I really think the story writing in What If was done so well, and it's a really thought-provoking. It's like an episode of Outer Limits or something like that, where you know.
Yeah, Twilight Zone.
Right, where it's a very much a thought exercise. I picked up this from our buddy at Discovery Bay. I'm always buying Nova books. Big time New Warriors fan. Was a run that I used to collect as a kid. Nova was a centerpiece of New Warriors, so I've always had a soft spot for him. He was a total badass in Annihilation War. That's like when he stopped becoming like a doofus teenage type character into like full on galactic warrior. He ripped the spine out of Annihilus in a full page, in all its full page massacre glory or gory glory. Interesting read that was. What else? I got a couple more slabs this week. I can't remember what they are. I might have them hiding. Oh yeah, these are the other ones I got. I got a couple slabs from Edwin Price. This is a great one. This is the new Masters of Evil in this one. It's also great Black Knight cover. This is the first appearance of Ultron 5 and the new Masters of Evil in cameo. Not quite sure how you can have the new Masters of Evil in a cameo if they're fully appearing on the cover. Someone will need to explain that one to me. Don't quite get that one. As we well know, big time Thor fan. Anytime you get a Silver Age and a VF slabbed up, is a good day. I got a decent deal on this. I love Hella covers. Jack Kirby, how he drew Hella, and that headpiece is super iconic and an original character design. This is appearance of Wrecker, Hela, and the Destroyer. This is also Inhumans Triton backup story. This cover was done by Jack Kirby and Vince Coletta, and Joe Sinnott did the art in the inside. Story by Stan Lee. Stan the Man. I think that this book was undergraded. I think that this should no, never mind. Okay. This book would have scored higher, but it's got a little bit of a color breaking dog ear in the top right corner. So I think the 7.0 is a fair grade for this. But it's off-white to white pages, which is about as good as you're going to get for most Silver Age. This 6.5, I believe this one was absolutely harshly graded. This is because it had to do with Edwin. They had kept Edwin Price's books for like a year. We had to file a Better Business Bureau dispute to get them back. But really, there was some dirt here that could be very easily cleaned. A couple non-color breaking ticks there, but the guys probably did it when they were jamming it in here. I think that this book could easily hit an 8.0 or higher with a clean and press. So this is one of the ones that I'm on the fence about cracking. The one I'm not on the fence about cracking is this book.
Oh,
do we know what this book is, Mr. Carlos?
Yes. The silent issue. The reason this book got a 7.0 is because the centerfold is detached. Oh, is it there though?
It's there. I reattach pages all the time. I'm one of the few people who will do staple replacements. So this is no big deal for me to reattach the centerfold and send it back in, because the condition on this book, you can see where it wasn't pressed.
Yeah.
See that? I think that this could easily get at least a point grade increase to an 8.0 or an 8.5 if I reattach that cover, because the back is really, really clean, and it does have 1, 2, well, maybe even higher now I'm looking at it. Problem is there's that one tick right there in the center that's a little too big for me. Right there. Maybe it could get a 9. There's a little bit of waviness at the top. It is in one of the newer cases, so I can tell that this was graded here recently. But I'm assuming the person that sent it in didn't really realize that the centerfold was attached, so I'm assuming probably just barely detached, so it may be easy to do. But hey, I haven't cracked a new case yet. So it's the first time I'll be breaking into a new case, but let me see if I can't get this sucker broke out. So
you're gonna crack it tonight?
I'll crack it right here, right now, baby.
Oh my gosh!
But you can go ahead and show some books while I figure out how I'm going to open this.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll come back to you in a minute. All right, folks. So MT is going to crack that G.I. Joe number 21. Wait. Okay. Trax is asking. Trax has already got like a million questions for you. You're going to use that special conservation tape.
No, I will never tape this.
Okay.
No, I'll just reattach it.
Generally,
there's more than enough paper to reattach it.
Yeah.
Especially if the book is in this kind of condition, the paper will be supple enough to reattach it. If you're talking like really old Silver Age where the page is brittle, it's like worn through, there's not enough integrity in the paper to reattach a staple. But something like this that still has supple paper colors, I'm putting it at a very high chance that I can reattach this without issue. I'm committed. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yep.
Putting this up, so it's a done deal, Mr. Trax.
We'll check back in on you in a minute. All right, folks. Hey, if you haven't hit that like button, make sure and do so for the video. It helps get the algorithm kicking. Helps let people know that we're live right now. Thanks to the almost 20 people that have been in and out tonight and watching with us and hanging out, chatting, just hanging out. As always, Monday Halls Live goes live at 10 p.m. Central here on the Carl's Collects Comics YouTube channel. We also have a live stream on Wednesday nights that goes live at 10 p.m. Central as well. Our missing trio person, Paul, tonight spearheads Wednesday nights, and then Friday nights I go live with videos like the one I just dropped over the weekend, the top 10 Namor comics you should be checking out right now. So make sure and watch that video if you haven't already. Would love to hear your thoughts. Make sure and leave a comment and let me know about the feedback that you've got on it. And if there's anything you think I missed, there's a ton of Namor books, and they're just continuing to heat up as we get closer and closer to the premiere of Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. So my next stack of books that I'm going to show, these are a bunch of random pickups, but a couple of really fun ones. And MT actually mentioned one of the properties in here that was supposed to sell toys, but has a mixed up rights situation. Wait until you see the condition of what I picked up. But before we get to that, you know that I've been continuing to work this year on picking up, on building a G.I. Joe run. So I have here in about an 8.0 G.I. Joe number 9. This is one of the earlier issues that I was missing, one of the only ones I was missing. G.I. Joe number 46, this excellent Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow cover. That is a high-grade copy. I've also got G.I. Joe number 61. And this is also, it's got a spine roll, but it's got a decent, maybe 8.5 cover, give or take. So I picked those 3 up for my G.I. Joe run. This one was so random. I just came across it sitting there. I don't believe it is of the grade that they're saying. However, I wouldn't put it below an 8.0. This is Micronauts number 1. They came from inner space. Found this, and for this in a high grade for $6, can't go wrong. So it looks to be very high grade. I haven't rebagged and boarded it yet. Also got half off a variant cover that I generally don't go for variants, but this one I had not picked up yet. This is the White Tiger variant for Voices Comunidades number 1. This is not the George Perez one, but this is another one featuring the female current White Tiger with that really cool ghost tiger thing effect going on behind her. I did not have a copy of it, didn't ever get it because it didn't come in at my LCS, so I was pleased to get it for half price. Marvel Team Up number 1. I had featured the original in my current my Spider-Man video for top 10 books, but this is the one written by Kirkman with art by Collins that was recently relaunched back in, I think it was like 2015. No, 2004. Jeez, man, time flies. Got issue number 1 of this really cool series, and have this one. And for $1, you can't beat it. Okay, so Armor Wars. As you know, Armor Wars is one of my spec picks. It's just been upgraded from Marvel streaming series to a full feature film. I can't wait to see Sam Rockwell face off with Don Cheadle, 2 Academy Award level actors in an MCU film, and 2 of my fun favorite guys. Yeah, I mean, I can't go wrong with it. So I've been picking up Armor Wars books. I found 2 of the parts of the original Armor Wars. I passed on the entire Armor Wars 2 set because it just kind of wasn't feeling the art. But any Iron Man books with this logo are kind of like my childhood. So I picked up issue number 229 in a high grade. It's at least a 9.0, and that is this one here. part of the original Armor Wars storyline. And then I picked up issue number 230, also in very high grade for being a black cover. I don't see any spine ticks at all. This is also part of the storyline. So a very clean copy.
That's part of the Ghost storyline?
No, these two are part of the original Armor Wars.
Armor Wars. Okay, I missed that.
Yeah, so they did not do the masthead thing. They didn't do that until Armor Wars 2. Last two books were some fun books. Like I had mentioned earlier, I've been picking up some copies of All Star Squadron because I remember that series. So it's a nice little. The entire run had art by Jerry Ordway and was written by Roy Thomas, and just a really cool little book right now. I mean, just a really cool little run. Not very long. I'm not picking up a bunch of them. Not going to do.
Roy Thomas wrote that, did he?
He did. He wrote the entire run from first issue all the way to the last issue, which is kind of cool. So this is All-Star Squadron number 23. This is the origin, and I think first appearance of Amazing Man here on the cover.
Amazing.
And then also from that run, the very next issue, number 24, also in very high grade. This one has just the origin of Tarantula. And I always as a kid, I loved the Tarantula design. He didn't do very much. I mean, like they didn't do very much with him, but I just always loved that design. He was a World War II hero.
Gold looks like a very golden age character. What issue number?
This is All-Star Squadron number 24, and yeah, it's
17 in there.
You what?
Do you have a number 17 in there?
No, not in this stack. Are you talking? Oh, you're talking about the first appearance of Infinity Inc., right?
No, here I'll show you because I have it here right in my hand right now as we speak. This is the Total Thor ripoff, where it's the first appearance of Vulcan. And Michael came to tell me that this is like the third or fourth appearance of Boob Window Girl. Can't remember her name. Power Girl. It's her like third or fourth appearance. Had no idea. Now you're telling me Roy Thomas wrote these.
Well, no, that's All-Star Comics. This is All-Star Squadron.
Oh, that's a different.
That series actually predates.
I guess it said Super Squad on there and all.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that one preceded this one.
Oh, okay.
So this was a really fun. It's a fun, very inexpensive series. These were $2.50 a piece. The retail price on them was $5 a piece. But they're just fun books. And with the opportunity to potentially have meet Roy Thomas coming up, I've started to pick up books now to just kind of get prepared and so on and so forth. So hey, those are these. MT, you about ready?
Oh, I'm done.
Wait, you what?
I got a lot of books to pack up. I'm all set. I've showed everything I'm gonna.
Oh, cool. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and show off the rest of these books real quick. So Iron Man. Here's another one that I just is total nostalgia by. Iron Man number 241. I love this cover. The Mandarin's hand encroaching on him right here. I think it's a Ron Lim cover. Just a really cool book, and I remember all the books during this time period. I remember like kind of bits and pieces of them. I don't know which moments go with which issues. So
right.
There's certain ones that I had as a kid, and that's the thing. I didn't know anything about comic shops or subscriptions or anything. I just would grab them whenever we went to the store, and it wasn't that frequent. So I had kind of bits and pieces of a collection.
I guess I could show off the crack yet. So yeah, come back after you're done showing your round. I will show off the crack.
Okay. So this is Man Thing number 6 that I picked up here.
Nice.
Yeah, for $3, can't beat it. It's a mid grade, about a 5 or 6.0. MT, this one is another MT and Edwin Price inspired pickup. This is House of Secrets number 119. This is about a 6.0, and I just love this guy in his onesie or his costume scaring the little pygmy people, and then the monster coming up behind him.
He's like an abominable snowman.
Right, yeah.
But what do you like better, House of Secrets or House of Mystery?
House of Secrets.
House of Secrets. Okay.
Yeah. The really what puts me onto and House of Secrets is mainly the ones I've been picking up.
Okay.
The only reason I'm picking up the House of Mystery is because of Dial H.
Okay.
Well, and the House of Mystery.
I was buying House of Mystery because of all the Neil Adams covers, the big key Neil Adams covers.
Gotcha.
But I haven't read very many. I don't know the difference between the two, other than they're kind of similar.
Yeah.
I'm just curious what you thought.
Yeah, I happen to like the more kind of macabre feel to House of Secrets, and there's a certain run of them around the Swamp Thing debut that all just
right.
Yeah, they have a really cool feel to them. So those are really the only ones I'm focusing on. Like if it gets too early, House of Secrets is a little bit meh, and then if it gets too late, it's a little bit meh. But I found kind of a sweet spot in there. And then for House of Mystery, those are the ones where I'm looking for the Dial H. But I'm not really collecting any of the other ones from his storyline, just his first appearance. So I think I might have a couple other books for it. So the Avengers during the 1990s was also childhood material for me. I vividly remember having a copy of Avengers number 319. This is the first part of a storyline called The Crossing Line, and you can see it up there at the top. This is I think it was like a nuclear sub or something. But the thing was, as a kid, I only had the first one of these. I remember this is when Quasar is on the team. And then there's Stingray, one of my cool guilty pleasure characters. There's White Vision. And then I think there's Crimson Dynamo there. So this was this was very much a product of its time, because I think it was about like a Russian sub and a Russian nuclear sub and so on and so forth. So I went ahead, I treated myself because at half off, put them all at $1.50, and I said, why not? Because I've never actually read the entire story because I've never owned it. So I picked up Avengers 319, which is part 1, Avengers 320, which is part 2, and then Avengers 321, which is part 3. And then Avengers 322, which is part 4. Yeah, starring Alpha Flight. Avengers number 323, this was something that was interesting. It lists it as part 4 of 6, even though this was also listed as part 4 of 6. So, hey, what's up, General Jedi? So this is Crossing Line. So this is actually part 5, even though it's mislabeled as part 4. All right. And then part 6, which is the final part of the story, Nuclear Holocaust, The Crossing Line, part 6. So really cool little storyline that I picked up. Totally a nostalgia pickup. I don't really believe there to be any spec value to it at all. Okay, so here's some ones that I was really excited about showing off. Let's see. Making sure that nobody's trying to get a hold of me while we've been live. Okay, so as I said, I've been picking up DC Comics Presents. I did, however, find something that was really neat. And MT, I think MT, are you still there? He's gonna be interested in these. So I picked up a very small stack of DC Comics Presents. And like I said, I've been picking them up because I just love that kind of anthology storytelling. It is much like the DC version of Marvel Team Up, and just has a lot of cool characters combined with Superman. But here's the thing, MT, that I was going to share. So this is DC Comics Presents number 12, Superman and Mr. Miracle, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so that's just cool in and of itself. However, starting here, the run I picked up, they're all Mark Jewelers inserts,
Oh wow.
and they're all in about 7.0 or better. Well, there's one that's maybe 6.0.
Guys telling them know they were Mark Jewelers, or you just happened to find that out after you bought it?
No, here's the thing: the comic shop actually. The reason I singled these out was they had written MJI on the price label, but had not changed the price label at all.
Wow. There you
So half off. Basically, most of these were $2.50.
Nice.
So yeah, so here is, and this cover I really like this one. DC Comics presents number 18, Superman and Zatanna. I've never seen Zatanna looking quite sexier than that.
I remember that outfit.
I don't remember that one. I didn't, I didn't pay much attention to her when I was a kid. I just, but now I'm kind of like, oh, all right. So, DC Comics presents number 20. This is Superman and Green Arrow, another Mark Jewelers insert. DC Comics presents number 21, Superman and the Elongated Man. This is the lowest grade one at about a 6.0. This is Mark Jewelers insert also.
Cool.
DC Comics presents number 23, Superman and one of the men of the hour, Dr. Fate. This is about an 8.0, Mark Jewelers insert.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see nearly as many DC Mark Jeweler inserts as I do Marvel. I don't know why that is per se, but
I think they're more scarce.
I think that Edwin Price seems to think so too.
Huh. And look, I'll say this. These are not really like kind of, well, okay. They were personal collection value pickups, basically.
Yeah.
There was a huge run of DC Comics Presents, and once I saw the MJI,
Right.
they know me there, so they let me pull it out and check it, and I verified it was a Mark Jewelers insert. And at that point, I just grabbed everything that had MJI. And I said, you know what? I'll lead off with these books in that run because of what they are. Okay, so this is DC Comics Presents number 29, and this is at about an 8.0 Mark Jewelers insert. This is Superman and the Spectre.
Nice.
This is cool team ups, really cool team ups in this series. And I didn't appreciate them until, again, you and Edwin Price have gotten me on this kind of copper and bronze kick for some of these books that, they were there as nostalgia because of my, childhood growing up. But just listening to you guys talk about them, picking them up, reading through them, flipping through them, being like, oh, yeah, I remember like that Joker one.
Yes.
Mark Jewelers is very rare, 1 in 30-ish. Okay, good to know. So this is DC Comics Presents number 37. This is Superman and Hawk Girl.
Oh, it's considerably less than, or way more than 1 in 30. Rock City. It's less than 5% of the print count.
Wow. So this is also about an 8.0. So it's a high grade, and again for $2.50. It's like, yeah, I didn't even think about it. Okay, and then last one, DC Comics Presents number 40. This is Superman and Metamorpho.
I love Metamorpho.
Metamorpho?
Yeah. He melted the Eiffel Tower in one episode.
Really?
Yep.
This one,
my dad, so it's one of the few DC characters I know about.
Oh, okay. I'm interested in cracking this one open and reading it and seeing what it looks like. I don't know who the bad guy is here though. Java with his Orb of Ra. Okay. So this is about an 8.0. Got this one. Okay, last two I picked up. These were not.
Yeah, you're right, Rhapsody. My math was bad.
These are not Mark Jewelers, but they are annuals. And so I've found DC Comics Presents annual number 1, Superman and Golden Age Superman. And then annual number 2, which looks to be in very high grade, very cool cover. I've never seen this one before. This is DC Comics Presents number 2, Superman and introducing Superwoman.
Wow.
Have you ever seen her before?
Never seen her, never heard of her before. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Planned Arizona, Mark Jewelers were not only sold on military bases, they were also sold at like drugstores and other shops surrounding military bases. Ones that were sold on a military base tend to have a star stamp on them, which is what we call out all the time. Were any of yours star stamped?
I'm looking these over to see, but I don't see any star stamps on them. I doubt that the price sticker is covering it.
They're not always on the front, so you got to check the back too.
Really? Okay, I will definitely check that. You know what? Let's pop open this Spectre one and let's see real quick if
faint. You know.
You what?
And sometimes it's faint. You have to look close. Sometimes they're easy to miss. I'll show you. I've got a star stamp Mark Jeweler right here. I'll dig out and show you guys.
Man, these are super high grade. You know what? MT, I don't know if this is even. I don't know that this is an 8.0. I'm thinking this is like an 8.5 or more, or higher.
Yeah, one to look into a little bit more.
Well, all of these were, because they've just been sitting in a back issue bin. Yeah, I mean, it's in really nice shape. Okay. Yeah, I don't think these have star stamps on them. But yeah, nonetheless, really fun pickups to find. Want to double, no triple your investment right now. No, they're PC books, and I've just told everybody what I paid for them, so people are not going to want to pay over that. But no, I did want to pick them up for a personal. I
don't know. I think you can certainly sell that Superwoman one if you wanted to, for sure. But if they're PC books, you don't think you'll ever get another one in that grade, right? How easily you think you could come across another one like that, Carlos? Probably.
I don't know.
Odds,
Okay, let's take a look.
Here, I'll show you guys real quick while who's looking at those. This is even a more cooler example. Before they started doing Mark Jeweler variants, they did National Diamond inserts. And prior to National Diamond inserts, they still sold comics on military bases, but they were star stamped. This is pre-insert star stamped military base.
Oh, wow.
Star stamp is the same size. They kept the same stamp for like 20 years or more.
Wow.
His tales to astonish, but I'm going to show you this because Edmund Price is here, and I got this from Edmund Price. This is one of the pinnacles of my collection here. In rarity, it goes Mark Jeweler variants, National Diamond insert variants, and then the very elusive double insert books. This is the double insert National Diamond. It has the Menanin ad in the front of the book with this little military cartoon on it. And then, so the center of this is a Mark Jeweler. And then the back has, looks like they're trying to sell you records or 8-tracks. Old and heavy gold.
Hey, MT, let me let you do Let's come back to the Mark Jewelers in just a second because I want to ask you all about insert color. Why don't you do your slab crack? I'm going to run downstairs for a second. Okay.
Okay, so I cracked this out already. It's got some pressable defects. I am very confident I can reattach the centerfold. I would tell you more about how I would do it, but I can't give away all my trade secrets here on the show. But I definitely think that this was a very successful crack. It was well worth cracking because the centerfold can be reattached. I will say, like, if the entire area where the staple is completely pulled out and there's one big hole there, you're not going to be able to reattach it. You got to have something to grab. So there's got to be paper in there that still exists. You're never going to reattach it. I will say I am pretty impressed with CGC's new sealing method. Let's see if I can zoom in on this. Before, it was just like 2 sheets of plastic and they welded it together. This is actually form fitted, so they're like there's a little raised box that fits to the comic. So instead, they'd be kind of like mashing them, just like a comic book bag. You know, it's just like 2 sheets of plastic welded together. This is actually formed in a raised rectangle to the comic book. I'm really liking that. Plus, the welded seam for this is much thicker than it used to be. So I'm curious. I remember Comic Tom did the video where they stuck it in a fish tank to see how long it would take for water to infiltrate the slab. And I bet you that they watched that, and now they've made these waterproof. I'm curious. I'm almost like half tempted to, the next slab I'm not happy with the grade, to dunk it in a tank and see if it's waterproof. See if it actually infiltrates the book or not. These plastic welds are probably not foolproof, so it may be different from slab to slab. But it could be an interesting experiment to do live here. I have, Mr. Collector, I've done tons and tons of research into Mark Jeweler variants, National Diamonds, double insert, military base books, and I have got a database of all the known Mark Jeweler and National Diamond books that I could, if you hit me up on IG, I'll send you a copy. But it was just basically the regular titles. Ant-Man was in there, Kazar was in there, Thor books were Mark Jeweler National Diamonds. There were not as many DC titles as there was Marvel titles, but it was, and here's the time period. National Diamond inserts ran from 1971 through 1973. Mark Jeweler inserts started at the end of 1973 and ran through right around, I want to say 1990, I want to say 1994, but I think that's too late. I'll have to, now you're putting me on the spot and I can't remember exactly. I'll have to look it up here. Maybe I can open the document here. But at any rate, I went down the rabbit hole with Mark Jeweler variants to learn everything I could with Michael Pressis from our who frequents the shows in the chat. He and I were into it because we were trying to figure out what all the insert books ever created. Like there's a Bo Jackson insert in the X-Men book. There were Kool-Aid inserts where you could get a Kool-Aid pack inside. Trying to think of some of the other inserts. There was Bo's inserts. There was Menanin inserts. There was Alka-Seltzer inserts. 1992, it sounds about right, Tracks. It is right in the early 90s at any rate. I want to, some reason 1994 sticks in my mind. I'll have to verify that with my document. I'll look it up. But at any rate, that's when it ran. And then they went out of business. And then the location where it was got vandalized. There was a meth lab in it. And they had a fire. So National Diamond is no longer in business. We had that discussion as well, so we did some research on that. DC quit MJ around 87. Probably right. Like we said, DC had much lower amounts of Mark Jeweler inserts than. That's interesting, Pete. The reasoning for them not being waterproof is for the gases to be able to escape. Well, I will say the way that this plastic is welded, there is no air vents in this. The new case, at least. I don't see any air channels in here, and it is certainly welded in a way that implies it is meant to be waterproof. Now, perhaps the plastic, because there are some pretty high-tech polymers in the world, possibly we have polymers that will allow the escape of moisture and gases. So perhaps the particular type of polymer allows for that. I don't know. I have to dig into that a little bit more. Be interested to find that out.
So the question, the big thing I wanted to ask you guys was, what is Edwin Price said that the color of the insert has bearing on value. What do you know about that?
I know that there are colors that are far more frequent than others, right? There are some you don't see, like the emerald green inserts are ones you do not see very often. The red ones aren't nearly as common. I want to say that I think they might be purple and green, or like the most purple and blue are like the most common ones that you see a lot. There's black ones, and the ones that were cardstock, because there's ones that are glossy paper and thin, and then there's a version that are cardstock. The cardstock ones are almost all black, right? I like the ones that are solid colors the whole way through, because a lot of them have two different colors on the pages. I like solid color black inserts. That's my favorite out of all of them. Or the emerald green solid one. That's a real hard one to I don't see that one very often at all, the emerald green. They have like different variations of the pink. Some of them look a little bit more orangish. Some of them look a little bit more darker red. Yeah, blue, purple, and black are the most common. I would agree with that. I got one that I think was black, but just they were running out of ink, so it's like a gray color. I don't think specifically I've ever seen gray again, so I think that might have just kind of been a printing error. Brown, copper, emerald are very scarce. Yeah, I think that the pink ones too I don't see very often, but I have had a couple of the pink ones.
So the Spectre one is a black one.
But I'll tell you this right now, we'll check the weld on this sucker. I got a bottle of water right here. Now, perhaps by some marvel of engineering, the water molecule is too large to pass through, and perhaps air gases are of it. But I'm still of the opinion this is a watertight, airtight seal they're putting on this. Certainly watertight. I don't see anything creeping through the welds on this. Now, there's a difference between holding water in here and putting it underneath the pressure of a 10-gallon tank full of water, but nothing, gang. Absolutely nothing. I'll set it over in the corner, and I'll give it a couple days and see if it works its way through, and we'll get back to you next week on that, I guess. Now, I doubt that, like, the side that I cut off made any difference, but we'll take a look at that, too. Well,
Okay, so you said there's dual color ones?
Yeah, but at any rate, I gotta run, Carlos. It's 12:30. I got some books to pack up before I go to bed, so I'm gonna have to call it a night here.
All right.
I appreciate y'all being with me. Great, happy Halloween. Come back, see us next week, and we'll see how the water experiment went. And maybe I'll break another slab open. We'll have a lot of fun. So, all right, thanks, Carlos. Thanks, everybody.
We'll see you.
Yep.
All right, guys. Hey, it's been fun hanging out with you. Glad that we got to have some discussion about Mark Jewelers inserts. I definitely learned a couple of things. Excited about going through these and labeling them. Maybe I'll give you an update next week about it. Just real quick, remember that if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure and do so, because we've got lots of cool stuff coming down the pipe. More new books or more new videos, including a series on how to properly ship comic books that I'm going to be dropping next month. And I've been working on those and looking forward to putting those out, as well as a couple additional special features for Fridays as we get into the holidays, and just some other cool stuff. So thanks for being here tonight, for hanging out with us for the past hour and a half as we went through our hauls from this past week. What did you pick up? If you're watching this on the rewind, make sure and drop it in the comments and let us know what you picked up this week. Is there anything that you think we should have paid attention to? I know there are a couple of new books that I didn't showcase tonight, but we'll definitely have to show them next week. So thanks again for you guys hanging out with us. Hope you had a happy Halloween and you got to spend some time with your family. We will see you next time. We have enjoyed it as always. I know I'm speaking for MT as well. He's enjoyed it also. So y'all take care. Have a great night, and we will see you next time.